Alright, so I'm going to preface this video by saying there is a boost leak on the Honda. We're going to figure that out some point this week, and I will make an update video immediately as soon as we get that figured out. Initially, the car looks and feels extremely sluggish. Just putting that out there. I went and reviewed some old footage. I hadn't been in this car in forever, and my other two vehicles, they're decently quick. So, you know, getting in that, it was like, man, I don't remember the Honda being this slow, and it wasn't. Just to clarify, the Honda was never that slow. It was running about between 6 and 10 pounds of boost, and currently all day today, we were only getting a maximum of 3. And that is because there is somewhere in there a boost leak, so keep that in mind while watching today's video, and let's start the video. Welcome back to a brand new MobSquad video. Today's video, we're gonna be working on the boosted R18, so let's get going. Interestingly enough, there's a purchase I made about a year ago, and in my youngin' days, my dog, I always said I would never get, and that is a truck. And here is my truck. Off to the store. So goal is to get some oil and an oil filter. Okay, we're out of Walmart now. Yeah. Time to leave. We are here to pick up the Honda. She's very loud. Yeah, anyways, now little spider. Hey there. Alright, and we start the little drive over to the house. Oh man. Well, can't see that great out of the windshield. Donovan, try to wipe it off. What? I'm being dead serious, dude. Well, didn't think about windshield wipers, to be honest. This motherfucker just slammed the door. On the road again. So, little history while we're having to take the car somewhere. So within the last 3 years, I moved out of my parents' house, got married. Me and my wife, we bought a house 2 years ago. We decided that it was, you know, time to sell the house and maybe look at getting something bigger, moving, you know, just so that we're available to move somewhere and not in the position. We don't want to live here forever. So we sold the house and we're living in an apartment now. So if I gotta work on the car or anything, gotta take it to my parents' house. It'll be reminiscent if you're here from the old R18 videos. It's the same spot, but yeah, that's where we're going right now. Kind of on the agenda for today is we are going to be changing the oil. It's kind of the big thing. Figuring out where it's burning oil somewhere. I think it's got something to do with my catch can being laid over. That's what I'm thinking. It might not be. I honestly don't know where it's coming from, but we're gonna change the oil. We're gonna replace the license plate, clean out the inside a little bit, take off some of the old ass stickers, and we'll see if we, you know, feel like doing anything else after that. We'll go take it for a little drive and go rip it around for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a little time lapse of us changing the oil, and I'll see you when we get done. Okay, so oil change is done. The reason why it kind of took a little bit longer than it should have is because I was teaching this young guy right here.
Who's the young guy?
You, how to change the oil. So we're gonna remove these old stickers, and then we've got a fresh one of these to throw on her back at the apartment. Said, man, this thing got beat up. I feel really shitty for letting her go for so long. You know, baby steps. We're also gonna be throwing on the bumper here in just a minute, so we'll go and grab that and start putting it on. I lost the bolts to the bumper somewhere. I have no clue where they're at, but luckily for me, I save so much shit when it comes to, like, when we were remodeling parts of the house and stuff. So I've got a bag of bolts, and guess what? We found some that fit, so we're good to go. We've got some screws for the sides because it's literally these two bolts and then the little screws. We don't have any clips. We have nothing that connects on the upper or on the lower side, because I cut so much shit off of here. But we are going to be throwing the bumper back on. We're going to go ahead and start the car, let it run for a couple of minutes just to make sure that the oil's good and everything. And, you know, she's going to sound healthy now. Hopefully, that's the goal. Like I said, we'll let her run for a few minutes and then we'll check and see where the oil's at. Problem is with this dipstick, when we tapped the hole for the oil drain for the turbo, I'm pretty sure it goes right back onto the dipstick, because I mean, if you look at it, it's like perfectly in line down there. So I mean, we'll check it anyways just to make sure it's full on oil. I'm gonna go ahead and go grab the bumper now. Some good news, I found the bolts that go to the bumper, so we are throwing them on right now. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so the only problem now is, yeah, I've got these bolts and that's all good, so for this side and this side, but there's screws that go into the fenders right there, and I've only got one. I don't know where the other one's at, but I think I have one that should work over here in my bucket of random screws. She's looking all put back together. Looking pretty good. Nice. We are heading back to my apartment. We've got a meeting with Houston here in about 20 minutes. We're on kind of a main road, so we're gonna open her up a little bit. We definitely need a tune because getting above like 5,000 RPMs just felt weird. We are back in the car. We're gonna go for a little cruise. I know it seems impossible that it could somehow reset the ECU to it being stock, but we did go ahead and reflash the car with the last revision that I had from eTunes, which was like back in 2021, I think, was the last time I'd gotten a tune, so we're talking 3 years ago. So now we're gonna go for a little cruise. Reason why I reflashed it is because max I was seeing was like 4 pounds earlier, and that's kind of a problem. Once we get on this little main road here, we're gonna open it up a little bit and see if we're hitting 10 pounds like we're supposed to. Watch it. About 2 pounds of boost. Maybe we've got a leak somewhere, now that I think about it. What do you think, wife? How's the Honda sound? Feels kind of slow, huh?
Yeah.
Something weird. We're gonna go ahead and pull the bumper off. Just double check one more time, make sure all the couplers are connected, everything is good and solid. Because before, I remember we were hitting boost cut at about 9 pounds. The car definitely feels like kind of sluggish in comparison to how it used to feel. So we're gonna take everything apart, make sure everything's still okay. Nonetheless, it never got fully tuned, so we are gonna have to get that going here pretty soon. Hopefully I can get someone to tune it, and we'll, you know, try to make as much power as we can without having to change to a 4-bar map sensor. Only reason why I don't want to do that is because I don't think we're gonna run the car over 10 pounds to begin with. Number one, we still have the plastic intake manifold, so I don't want to, we're already kind of pushing it, you know, when you start shoving air in there. The other side of that is the transmission, which everybody likes to, you know, make fun of, whatever, in our YouTube comments. Oh, it's an automatic. Oh, it's an automatic. Look, sometimes you play with the cards you're dealt, and that's what I did. You know, was it the smartest thing? No. We did have plans at one point to go ahead and manual swap it. I'm not saying that that's not gonna happen, but at least for the time being, that's not going to happen. So for the safety of the transmission and the intake manifold, we are not planning on going anything over 10 pounds. And you know, like I said, that's always subject to change, but as far as intake manifolds, there's one out there and it costs a ridiculous amount of money, and I'm not even sure if it would be a direct bolt-on because it's for the generation before, and the engines are slightly different, which is why we ran into so many issues putting this turbo on in the first place. I'm actually going to make Donovan take the bumper off, so in case I forgot to mention it in this video, this car will be his here in the future. You know, within what, a year? In a year? Well, we're saying a year. We've got a year until he's off driving on his own. If you guys have ideas, and don't say trash it, don't say nothing stupid like that. We're building this car still. You know, let me know down in the comments if you guys do have any ideas for what you'd like to see. In case you did miss the short, some of the things we've modified, if you are tuning back in from, you know, 3 years ago, we did finally build an intake. We got rid of the coolant reservoir, and we made one out of this NOS can, which is getting crushed by the intercooler piping right here. We got a kill switch for the battery, so I've given you the tools that you need. There are 2 bolts and 2 screws. It is very, very simple. Okay, now there's 2 screws that are right here connecting the bumper to the fender. There you go.
Go hit the gains after this. Back on.
Now just take it off. Alright, set it down nice and gently. You don't want to scratch up this nice paint. Donovan, do you know what the intercooler is? No. Okay, this right here is the intercooler.
This.
Okay. So that's what cools the air off that comes out of the turbo. Okay. So turbo's air goes down, comes over, goes into the intercooler right there, and it goes back through this way, comes up, goes into the engine right there. That is called the throttle body. All right, you got it. What we're gonna do is go through all of these and make, no, we're not taking them off. Are you crazy? We're gonna make sure that there's nothing that's disconnected.
Enough?
Yep, pretty much. Something that Donovan brought up that I didn't even think about was the spark plugs. So we're gonna go ahead and pull all the spark plugs, check all of them. Push.
Oh, I knew that.
Like that. See?
Push.
You got it.
I need to hit the weight room.
Cool. Okay, so coming back in, all of these look great until right there. Looks like we've been having probably some sort of misfire. All of the coil packs look really good, except for that #1 cylinder spot. All of these spark plugs looked actually pretty good. They almost look brand new still, which is pretty crazy, considering how long these sat. Oh shit. But we're gonna replace them all. Anyways, we've got some new ones on the way. Over here, new spark plugs are here. I think one of the problems might have been that we had them gapped a little bit too far. I think we had them at like a 0.35. So we're gonna go ahead and bring it down to either a 0.30 or 0.25. So we might just, you know, split the difference there and run them at a 0.28. We are going to go see if anything has changed on the boost. Only one way to find out. Now, I'm not a tuner by any means. The only thing I'm looking for is air to fuel ratio, which we're aiming for 11:1. So when we're full throttle, let me know if you're seeing 11:1. And on boost, obviously, we want to, if we're hitting higher boost, boost. Let me know what you see on boost. That was the highest. It's so weird. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and finish up this video with some terrible lighting, but sitting here in the car. We're hitting this hard, man. We're coming in. We've got some new things coming. Be on the lookout for a podcast. That's kind of our next idea. We're going to be rolling into that. And Houston will have some more videos of the dragster, him taking that apart. We'll have some more videos coming out on the Honda here pretty soon. Thank you for watching today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And I will see you in the next video.